Good morning. It's Alexa. This is a very special edition of the Wish Work and Whatnot because I'm going to have a special guest with me today. And I had an amazing morning, which I'm so excited to tell you about. Celine, good morning. How are you? Remember I talked about bringing enchantment into my life? Well, girl, it is on. The swim was insane. It was so good. Oh my gosh, there is such magic right nearby. It was insane. It was so great to see the sun. Hey, the technical writer is here. Yay. All right, right on time. So if you get that little message that says request to join Trees and Baseball, good morning. It has been a magical day so far, and the day is young. So I'm excited to share my special guest. I'm excited to tell you about my swim today in the ocean at dawn. It was amazing. Oh my gosh. Hello, Filmbird Productions. Nice to see you. Good morning. So today is Four Orbs. Hey, how are you? Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, so it was a great day today. I had talked about on Sunday in a meditation class, I had the word enchantment, bringing in enchantment into my life was my intention. And sure enough, just like that, the invitation to join a whole pack of amazing people on a dawn swim in the ocean came into my world. And I said, yes, let's do it. Oh, goody. Let's go live. Spider, good morning. I'm so excited to see him. Yay. The magic of the interwebs.
Hey, good morning.
And just like that, the globe
And we
seems
meet.
so small. Hello.
Absolutely, absolutely. How are you? Good morning, Alexa.
Good morning and good evening to you.
Good evening. Yeah, it's 9 p.m. here. It's time to go to bed very soon.
Oh my goodness, what a pleasure to meet you.
Absolutely. Absolute delight to meet you here. Thank you for
Amazing.
having me here. Thank you for having me here, Alexa. And it is a huge, huge honor to be here on your live today with your amazing wish warriors.
Oh my goodness.
And
you know
yeah,
what?
I'm eager. Yeah.
I'm going to turn my volume up. The honor is absolutely mine. I was so happy to hear your story, and I want to share
Thank
a little
you.
bit with people who are not familiar with you. Why don't you maybe just sort of ramp us up by telling us how you knew about me, and then how I knew about you, and then how, whoop, here we are together.
Absolutely. So thank you very much again for inviting me here. It's a huge, huge delight. And I've been following your work and your live sessions for quite a while now, since April. And let me say, it's been very inspiring. Your sessions are very, very inspiring, very motivating. Exactly the right kind of positivity and inspiration I look forward to at the end of a tiring day at work. Because like I said, your morning sessions don't really reach us until it is late evening here.
Something to think about before you go to bed.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the thing is, what makes it even more interesting is how I stumbled upon your work, right? Because most of you can hear me properly, right?
I can, yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, like they say, most beautiful things in life happen by pure accident, and this was also an accident. So it was mid of April. We are in the middle of a pandemic, and I've been sitting at home for like 3 months at a stretch, absolutely wondering what to do. And there was no motorcycle rides to speak about, no vacations happening, nothing of that sort happening. We were in this terrible lockdown, and I'm like sad and depressed and literally down in the dumps. And I'm staring at my laptop screen trying to watch a YouTube video, and I'm literally begging to the universe, literally begging, oh dear universe, give me a sign, just show me a way to take back control of my life. This is exactly what I said. And you wouldn't believe, Alexa, you wouldn't believe it. Barely a minute had passed, and all of a sudden an ad just popped up on that video. And it was nothing but an ad of your 1000-watt presence program. And Alexa, you are going like, in that ad was like something like, you're saying, have you noticed how some people just light up a room from the moment that they walk in? This is what you say in that ad. And I'm like, oh my goodness. This is exactly what I wanted to hear at this moment. And this is exactly what I'm going to do now. And immediately I signed up for the course and I got it, and even watched a couple of videos the same night. And like I said, they changed my life. They were very, very beautifully made, very uplifting, very motivating. And one thing that really stood out about your courses is it was way different from other self-help courses that I've seen. I mean, I've done a lot of self-help courses before, and what I've noticed is most of them are like, okay, so this is what you miss in your life, this is what you don't have, and in the next 2 months, this is what we will be doing, and this is what you can expect at the end of the program. This is what most of them say. But your course was different in the way that made us believe that we were born brilliant, and the brilliance that we are seeking is already within us. We don't have to go out seeking things externally, but the brilliance that we are seeking is already within us. And that makes a huge, huge difference in the way a student looks at a program. I mean, from a journey, from a journey that is about acquiring something that is not within you. I mean, from a journey that is about acquiring something outside of yourself, you made it into a journey of unlocking something that is already within you. That is a huge, huge motivator.
Oh my goodness. I can't thank you enough for the feedback. And I do think it's a really interesting phenomenon that when you genuinely ask for what
Right.
you really want in that moment, even though you might be coming from a place of despair or depression or anxiety, the universe is like, gotcha. I got your back.
Absolutely. You just got to ask.
You just have to ask. And
Right.
I think that so many of us feel we create these strange narratives in our mind that anchor us in a state of low-grade fear or not low-grade fear. And we feel this sense of lack. And because that's such a popular perspective to have in life, far more popular right now than a positive perspective of life. And you have to get to a place in yourself where you're just like, I don't buy it. I choose not to do that. I just don't buy it.
Right. And sometimes we are just too proud to ask for help. Even when we are depressed or sad or anxious, we feel we would figure it out all by ourselves. I think that is our ego narrative speaking. So I think it is always better to be humble, a little humble, and maybe ask for help.
Yeah.
And who knows who might show up.
Oh my gosh. I mean, there's so many things I want to talk to you about, but I have to say, when you're someone, and again, I want to talk again what happened to you also after you took the course, which is so many things. But when you're making something, and this is the same because you're a maker too, you're a creator, you're inspiring people, not only with your rides that you do, your motorcycle rides that people can follow over at The Technical Rider, but also as a sculptor in paper, I'm sure in your work, just who you are. But when you are a creator, there is this moment of excitement when you have the idea, then you dig in and do the work, but then you'll inevitably come up with some obstacles, right? Because the enchantment of like, oh, this is this idea and it's so great. And then you're in the nitty-gritty period. But what is so gratifying is that, I don't remember when I created this course, and it's the name of the proper course is Radiate Confidence, how to create this 1,000-watt presence, which is, again, reconnecting to your inner light. The idea that, in the moments when I get frustrated and I think like, oh my God, what is the point? Or I'm not marketing this right, or, whatever those little naggy doubts are, then you get the little tiny bit of feedback that someone from the other side of the planet, it made a shift. And then you're like, oh yeah, I'm never going to doubt like creating things or making things and putting them out into the world with love. And you never know. So what an honor to meet you. But then, okay, so let's fast forward. Yay. You went ahead and then came the contest. So tell me about the contest, or tell our viewers what happened.
Yeah. So I went ahead and made this sculpture. So like I said, it had been a long time since I did any of that. It was from a long time ago. Like it had been more than 16 years. It is something that I used to do as a kid. And should I give you a brief about my childhood?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So the thing is, like most motorcycle riders, I don't have this cool backstory, the kind of story you guys want to hear. I mean, most of the motorcycles, when you ask about their lives, they have these amazing stories about how they started riding at a very young age and how they always knew that their life was always going to be about motorcycles and stuff. But that was not the case in my life. I mean, I was an indoor kid. I was an introvert. I was shy. There were a lot of restrictions growing up because I had authoritative parents, especially my dad. He's like super protective, over possessive, is a control freak. And so I was not literally allowed to go out and stuff. So every time I think about my childhood, there is a particular picture that comes to my mind, and a picture of a young kid who's like locked inside four walls and is standing by the window and looking outside, staring at the outside world, wondering, literally wondering what lies beyond those four walls. So it felt like a bird trapped in a cage. But then we are souls, right? We are all spiritual beings having a human experience. We are all souls, and I believe the soul is super powerful. When someone tries to tie down a soul, the soul will simply find a million other ways to express itself. So that is possibly what happened here. I was not allowed to express myself in the outside world. I had a lot of restrictions and stuff. So my soul had to naturally find other ways to express itself. So that's the reason I was good at craft. I watched a lot of cartoons, a lot of animations, a lot of movies. I was good at painting, sketching, and pretty much anything that happens indoors. But there were other pressures as well. There were pressures of studies. Then I had my career. Then a lot of responsibilities came up, so I had to leave them. And when I had money coming up, when I started working, I had money, and I no longer had to depend on my parents for following my dreams. Then all my dreams that were hidden, that were like suppressed, a door just opened up. Suddenly there was this door where I could just walk out and follow my dreams. And it was so amazing to have beautiful friends. I had beautiful friends in my previous company. They were like hardcore riders themselves. So I used to listen to their stories, their adventures, and that is what sparked the spirit of adventure in me. That is how motorcycling began in my life. I was not born to be a motorcyclist, to be honest. It was something that I stumbled upon, like your course, like your life work. I mean, I have to be very, very thankful to the universe for that. The universe has been very kind in my life. It has been blessing me a lot. So naturally, for an indoor kid who spent most of his childhood locked inside, motorcycling was this a huge opportunity. It opened up an entirely new realm of immense possibilities, unrestricted freedom. I could just sit on my bike and disappear far away from
Amazing.
everything. Yeah, far away from everything that limited me, my parents, my home, and pretty much everything that reminded me of my childhood. And and what they say is, when you try to run away from your past, you not only run away from the unpleasant things, but you end up running from the positive aspects of that childhood too. So
Yeah.
when I ran from my past, I inevitably ran from my craft skills too. And every now and then, I used to get ideas for making craft, but then there used to be this voice, there used to be this voice saying, no, no man, you don't have to do that. It's too much work now. You don't have to face with that past again. Let's just forget it.
Yeah.
But I don't know why this lockdown happened, and there was no motorcycling happening, no riding possible. So I was like suddenly locked inside my house all over again, and again I had to find other ways to express myself. So maybe why, and the competition happened at the very right time. It came at a very right timing. And I thought, why not? Let's do it. Maybe
Yeah.
this is the time I make peace with my past, and let's do it. But then, unfortunately, like I said, things did not work out because I had huge expectations. Maybe that was my fault again, because I should have done it only for the sake of it, right? Just for the pure fun. But somewhere when I was making that sculpture, I was tempted to get lost in the expectation of winning a prize, maybe, and acing it, be cool again.
Yeah.
But then the voting thing ruined it all, and yeah, I was back. And then, but I was lucky. I had an amazing teacher. I had an amazing teacher in you, and you were there to guide me. So
Well, I mean, first of all, there's so many things here that I so applaud, and I think that your reflection of your childhood and how your journey to find your own curiosity, your own self-expression, the action that you took that was inspired by, like, I just took this leap of like, I'm going to, really explore this idea of freedom. And if for anybody who's watching, the technical writer, Ajish has videos about his tour, motorcycle tour up to Ladakh. And it's like amazing. It's incredible. But
Thank
I
you.
also think you brought up such an interesting point that in the narrative that you created about your childhood, reflecting on your childhood, you
Right.
actually suppressed the idea of what was the gift that came of being trapped in those four walls. In a way,
Absolutely.
it made you go to a place that said, I am going to find my soul is going to find other channels, other ways to be expressive. So it's
Absolutely.
so interesting now. And so then there was this contest at work. You were celebrating Ganesha, and because people could not be celebrating in the streets because of the pandemic, there was this
Right.
invitation or contest to create some sort of way to honor Ganesha, and your way was this paper sculpture.
Absolutely.
But I love the fact that you're like, well, but then it didn't work out. Okay, just PS, you won second place.
Right.
Second place. And so
Yeah.
in a way, all of the things that in a way it's like, but that's so funny. Like, what is the wall of that perception? What is the box of that perception that says it didn't work out? Because in my vantage point, second place is totally awesome. And what you've gained by reconnecting to your light, your love, your creativity, and your craft, you can't put an award on that,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well said.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's so beautiful. And I think this whole idea of the pandemic, if we can, skew it a little bit to say we are all being forced to go, not forced, no, we're all invited, because not everybody is
Absolutely.
experiencing it this way. We're being invited to go beyond our fears and beyond our concepts,
Right.
to step into something that is more of an expression of what we want. And
Absolutely.
yeah, and I feel like there is such a powerful and potent time that we're in right now that, and I'll tell you the truth, a couple of different things. I had been so resistant to doing these Instagram lives. Like for years, like as soon as I've heard about them, I was like, oh, it's another thing that I've got to add to my plate of things to do. And in the pandemic, one of my dear friends and mentors, the tarot lady, Teresa Reed, she goes live every day. And I thought, well, why don't I just try it? It's like the highlight of my day.
I love your Instagram live sessions, and I'm sure that a lot of my friends also would love. But the problem is a lot of my people don't know about it. So I thought maybe this is the right opportunity to maybe invite them on the session and let them know what's happening here. So I can see a lot of my pals here. Yeah, I can see a lot of my pals here. So maybe if you can talk a bit about your amazing Wish Beads and Wish Work initiative, it would be such an honor.
Well, thank you so much, and welcome to all of Ajish's fans. I'm a super fan too. I think I'm ahead of your fan club here in California.
And one more thing, I'm a fan of your work too. These are not wish beads actually, just regular beads I got from different places I wrote to. I hope you can see it.
Yes, they look beautiful. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. So I've been a huge fan of beads. Super, I would love them. So these are like regular beads I got from different places I wrote to, and these are like souvenirs, little souvenirs of the wonderful adventures I did to those places and the amazing memories I made in those places. But never ever did I imagine that we could actually have our wishes and dreams in them. So that was like a very, very amazing creative idea, Alexa.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, we would like to hear more on that.
Sure. Well, first I was a professional actress for many years. And then I decided to transition. There's a funny story there, but ultimately decided to transition to give people the skills so that they could feel and remember that they are the star of their own life. That Absolutely. All of us are writing our own story. And we came here with actually that our obstacles are our best teachers. And without our obstacles, whether there are physical challenges, our childhood, or whatever, any challenge, is your divine, I would say, your divine
Calling.
experience to step into a bigger and brighter version of yourself, the light that you've always had within you. So I was teaching and making online courses for years, and putting them out there on video, and sort of connecting with students all over the world. But then I had an idea that came downloaded to me in the shower, and the idea, I actually have a new one that I'm featuring. Hold on, I'll show this one. This is a new one. It's kind of fun.
Wow, amazing.
Looks like a
Beautiful.
giant party. But the idea
absolutely.
the idea was to take a moment and visualize and see a moment in time where you are really living your wish, where everything feels just right. And so it's not so much necessarily about obtaining things or a certain amount of money, but it's more about a feeling that all is well. And by seeing it in detail and writing it down, by capturing the essence of it, you are in fact asking the universe, just like you said, in a moment where you're like, please bring me just what I need. I believe that the universe wants you to win. And sometimes when we stay vague and we say, well, I just want to be happy. Well, your version of happy and my version of happy is very different. And when we can honor the specificity of what is going to light our heart up, then we can step into that energy, and that energy has a ripple effect of goodness. Because in the same way that your radiant smile, your lit up eyes, your creativity, the way that you show up in the world, the way that you share your message, you have no idea if that's going to reach somebody who is feeling stuck or in pain, or feel like they're trapped by their life circumstances. They are living in a concept of limitation. Just by you sharing your energy can help them blossom, like a lotus. And so Wish Beads is your opportunity to not only see it through a guided visualization, but then write it down and capture the essence of it on a tiny piece of paper, which you roll up and you put inside. I don't have one in here because this one was brand new, but that you roll up and you put inside the cylinder, and then you wear it as a reminder, a visual reminder of what is important, what you're working towards, what you are connecting with that energy that you're connecting with. And that is going to motivate you to keep taking positive action towards that. Because it's not, it's not just like a book that you read or a class that you take. It's really when you interface with the energy of that, but then you take a little bit of action.
Right.
Yeah. So the reason why we're here on the Wish Work and Whatnot is that after I created the jewelry, I created a 21-day experience called Wish Work. 21 days of wildly simple exercises that you can do that help you stay, noticing signs and symbols and taking positive action. So it's you can sign up for it for free at wishbeads.com/yes. And so anybody watching this, even if you don't have the jewelry, sign up there. There's also a free app on iTunes called Wish Beads. And then I have a book of the same name, Wish Work. And then we talk about Wish Work and Whatnot every day here on Instagram.
Wonderful. And speaking of 21-day journeys, it is incredibly coincidental that my Mumbai to Ladakh motorcycle ride was also a 21-day journey. So that is mighty coincidental.
Yeah. I mean, it's really
So why
amazing.
21 days?
Well, they say, and I don't know if this is true, but basically they say it takes about 3 weeks to change a habit. And so we have these neural pathways in our brain. We don't even realize that the stories that we say about ourselves and the world, they create these patterns, and then we live that truth so much that we think that is the truth. And then all of a sudden we're convinced that that's just the way life is. And yet, when you introduce a new habit, suddenly you're rewiring your mind. And I'm sure if you can go back in time to the minute you made that decision, and I want to talk about that, the minute you made the decision, that first moment that you got on the bike and you're like, I'm going for it.
Right.
The neural pathways that I would imagine lit up in your mind.
The
what
blue
was that
grotto
experience
moment, right?
like for you?
The blue grotto moment.
The which one?
The Blue Grotto moment.
Oh,
It is.
yes! Oh my gosh, you are a good
I
student.
remember that. I remember that. I'm a good student. I can tell you that.
You are a good
Because
student.
yeah, that was an amazing example how you went to Italy and how you missed how you nearly ended up missing the Blue Grotto experience because the boats were leaving, and then you dove in, and there is an amazing dialogue you say at the end. You would just dive in. You would just uh, feel how amazing the water feels. Something like that.
Yeah.
You love the way the water feels. That is what you say. And all your courses, they end up with these amazing punchlines, and they're mighty motivating. I haven't finished your course yet, but I'm getting there.
Good. Oh my God, that's amazing. Well, this is funny. Very full circle. But then I want to hear about the first time you got on that motorcycle. But
First
today
time.
is very.
All right.
What's that?
No, go on.
Oh no, it's amazing because so for those of people who are watching me before, I think on Monday I shared that in a meditation on Sunday night, there were 3 words that came to me that I'm ready to bring into my experience. And the specificity of those words meant that I was suddenly accountable to making them happen. One of the words that came into my consciousness was the word enchantment, that I was ready to bring more enchantment into my world. And sure enough, because I had asked in the very specific way, I was aware that there were friends of mine, and especially my son had been involved in going on these swims in the ocean at dawn. Mm-hmm. So it is dark. And I'm always taking my kids to the beach. Most of the time I'm on the beach while they're swimming in the big waves and bodyboarding and stuff. And the idea of swimming in the ocean at dawn, I have to tell you, was a little intimidating to me. And my husband decided to go on Tuesday, and he came back and he was like, that was life altering and you must do it. Like, you just must. He's like, you asked for enchantment. I'm telling you, this is your invitation for enchantment. So today, absolutely, very auspiciously, today was my first swim, and it was incredible. Incredible. There are no words. In the same way that, I look at your videos of you going up those mountain roads with like the gravel and the no guardrail, and it literally makes my hands sweat with nervousness for you. And yet I can see that there is this dance that when you are like a little bit scared, you have to be a little bit, and you always have to be cautious and aware and all of that. But absolutely, to actually have that moment to like, you can't believe how good the water feels. The water meaning the creative process, the thing that you want to do, the thing that feels scary. If you just dive in, you will be amazed. Yeah.
And the best thing is, you don't have to do it alone. When you make a decision and go for it, when you dive in, you always have the universe helping in, because the universe bets on people. The universe bets on people. That is what I always like to believe. The universe bets on people who bet on themselves. And then when you have the universe on your side, then you don't need another person.
You feel supported.
Absolutely. Yeah. So since you asked about my first ride, it was not a very significant ride, a very short one. Like I said, I was blessed with amazing friends in my previous company. They were like hardcore riders. They used to talk about these amazing long rides they did all by themselves. And I was a 20-year-old boy who has no idea about motorcycle riding. And until then, a motorcycle was just a means of commuting, short commutes, maybe going from home to office and office to home. I never believed in the ability of a man going thousands of kilometers on a motorcycle. So it was like a totally alien feeling for me. Come on, really, can people do that on a motorcycle? You need a plane for that. That is what I used to believe. You need an airplane for that. No. Then they gave me all the inspiration. They just pushed me. They were like very pushy people and very persuasive. And one day I finally decided. One day I left early from work, and so there was like a crossroads. I had to go right to go home, and there was a left turn, and you could go wherever you want if you took the left. And I was like, there's some time left for the day. Why not do something different today? Let's do a short ride. And it was not a very long ride. It was just a 40-kilometer ride. Not even I don't know how much that is in miles, but 40 kilometers is not much. But every kilometer I went away from home, it it was a new feeling, something empowered me. I look at the signboards, I look at all these numbers, these beautiful names of places, faraway places written on them. So it sounded as if those places were calling out to me. They have been waiting on those signboards, waiting for me to read them and go follow them. And when I made to that place, I felt very, very amazing, and I made a decision to myself. This is exactly what I want to do, and this is what I love, and I'll be hitting the roads very, very soon. And you wouldn't believe I was back on the roads within a week, and there was no looking back. So sometimes, so my advice to people who are just starting out is, you don't have to wait for the perfect time. You don't have to wait for the perfect bike or the perfect set of gears, the perfect time, a plan or anything. Just start from where you are. Start with what you have.
Yeah.
Start small and finish big. But I'm nowhere near finished. Just started.
And it has, well, I also love that you found a community. So you trusted yourself, that you surrounded yourself with people, that you love their energy and you love their enthusiasm. And that gave you a little
Absolutely.
shot of courage. And then I
Right.
love that you got on the bike. Like, that's a big deal. And then I love that you paid attention to the signs, like literally signs. But
Yeah.
before you saw the signs, I also love that there was a whisper that maybe said, turn here.
Absolutely.
Just turn here. Just turn a little bit. And so you said, like, oh, it was just a little ride, but sometimes we need that dip, and we just need to dip our toe in and say,
Right.
the water's not so cold.
Right.
I bet I could do a little something. And then you did a little something, and that little something starts to set the creative wheels in motion to say, oh, this feels pretty good. This feels pretty good.
Absolutely.
And then you see the signs that says, hey, it could be like that. And now this is where sometimes there's a little bit of a trap. Like you can see the sign and it says how many miles away it is, or maybe
Right.
you've read a book about Ladakh and it kind of inspired you, but you said, no. That's I have to take a plane there, or it could be too dangerous, or it's too what
Right.
no. But instead you just slowly in your own way, move forward, and then it just grows. It just grows.
Right.
And then you have the own experience of being supported, that feeling of support either by your friends or the universe, and you start to build new muscles of confidence.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. And
So
that is
so
in
why do
fact connecting with your light. That's it. That's what it is.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. So would you like to share your story about how uh, you went from a Hollywood actress and how you decided to become a life coach and then a creator? I
Well,
mean, I mean,
I will
honestly,
tell.
honestly, for us, becoming an Hollywood actor is like a dream come true. And here is somebody who has quit that and doing
Well,
something on her own. So, what was the motivation for that?
I think that all of us come to this world with, you probably know the word dharma, but with a blueprint, a plan, a little astral plan of what you came here, your commitment that you wanted to experience, right? Like we read the
Right.
brochure for Earth and we said, sounds interesting, sign me up. And on the contract, there's a lot of fine print. But one of the things in the contract is like, here's what I came here to do. Now, when I was a child, just like you, if you had this desire for creating and crafting and sculpting, my delight was acting or performing, making people laugh or making them feel good. I always loved people. I was always curious about people and talk to people. And I turned that love into acting. It made sense. I've always been someone who is both kind of has an artist bent, but I also like business. Like I actually always have had those two things. But I was fortunate enough to study acting. I knew that even though I'd studied mostly as for theater, that in this
Mhm.
modern age to actually make a living, it was very difficult to make a living as a theater performer. So I ended up getting a big play in Los Angeles, that had some
Wonderful.
famous people in it. And I met all my agents out here and they said, oh, no. You can't be based in New York. You should come to Los Angeles and you'll start doing TV and film and commercials and things. So I came out to Los Angeles with my husband and we moved out here and I started working, right? And I started doing the whole thing, auditions and starting to be on TV shows, again, driven by this desire of of acting, stepping into another character and finding out their wants and needs and desires. That's really what good acting is, identifying goals and having obstacles. That's the craft of acting. And yet, the business of acting is very different from the craft of acting. And suddenly I found myself spending a lot of time on set. And while it's hard to admit this, but I was bored. And I felt this gap between what I had wanted and how hard I worked and the work I was actually doing. Now, it's not to say that I don't love the craft of acting, but the sitting around on the set made me feel like I was wasting my time. And that is something that I value more than anything. And the preciousness of this experience. And so I was shooting an episode of the TV show Bones, which I don't know if you know or not. Doesn't matter what show it was. But in the episode, I was playing a lawyer, and something bad had happened to my character. And I'm laying on the filthy floor where we're filming downtown LA with fake blood coming out of my mouth. And I'm waiting for, the actors to arrive, and the set, the lighting and the sound. And I'm waiting there, literally acting like a semi-unconscious person with fake blood coming out of my mouth. And it was basically my proverbial bottom. I completely panicked. And I thought, I've wasted, what am I doing with my life? I am so screwed. I've spent all of this time building this career that, oh my God, if I get on the outside, it looks successful. But had I really just became an actress, if I get some huge series regular role on TV and this is my entire life, I'm going to lose my mind. And so it was that. And so I asked the universe in that moment, fake blood laying there, oh my gosh, please God, give me a sign, because I am meant to be doing more with my life than this. This is not in alignment. And I would say it was either the next day or the next day after that. I'm not sure, literally right away, a friend of mine called me up completely out of the blue and asked me to do some media training for a client of hers. And media training just means that she had a big conference that she was doing in front of hundreds and hundreds of people, and she wanted to feel more confident on stage. And I, without even thinking, I was like, yes, full body, yes. Yes, I will give her every skill that I know about goal setting, about your voice, your body, mindset, everything that I've learned, I am going to teach her. And once I worked with her, she was like, oh, well, this was amazing. And I'd love for you to be the MC of my event. And by the way, you're going to be in front of hundreds and hundreds of people. So you should have a website. And I was like, oh, it was like, that's what set the whole thing in motion.
Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Amazing.
So now I feel like there's this time that probably many people are experiencing where maybe they're having to pivot their career or re-examine their priorities. And for you, Ajish, tell me, now that you have reconnected to your craft, shown your work environment like really the artist that you are, how has that shifted you professionally?
Shifted me professionally. Yeah, so I think I don't feel the need to look for validation outside, because this is actually a period where I strove and found it within me. Because most of the cases, because I think even with motorcycling, I'm guilty of having overdid a bit of motorcycling, because motorcycling is this glamorous hobby, When you say you're a motorcycle rider, people have amazing perceptions of you, and you try to cash in on that. You try to do motorcycling even when you don't want to do it, just for the sake of maybe an Instagram picture or a video. You start riding, and I have been guilty of that. There were several instances where I rode just for the sake of riding, even without having any interest in them, because that was the only thing I knew of doing. Because I was actually running from my past, and I did not want to do any craft. I did not even want to think about my past. So every time I was happy, I used to ride. Every time I was sad, I would ride. And so pretty much it was all about motorcycling. No matter what happened in my life, I would take my motorcycle and just ride. So eventually, from a hobby and a way of expressing my soul, it ended up being an escape, an escape from my past and an escape from my own self. But this lockdown, this 2020 pandemic, it literally forced me to stay indoors, made me reassess my hobbies, made me think whether it is really, what am I motorcycling for? I never asked this question ever before 2020. It was actually in 2020 that I actually got the time and patience to ask, why do I motorcycle? Do I motorcycle for for the sheer fun of it, or am I doing it as an escape? And then there came a realization that you don't have to do things just for the sake of it. Just do it when you feel like doing it, right? Don't do something. I mean, there is a quote from Interstellar. It goes like, never trust the right thing done for the wrong reason. Yeah. Never trust the right thing done for the wrong reason. So motorcycling is, yes, a very powerful way of expressing yourself in the world, but never do it for the wrong reasons. Do it for sharing your joy. Yeah, do it for feeling the wind in your face, but never do it as an escape. Because if you do it as a means of escaping from yourself, you will lose yourself in the process.
Yeah.
You will go farther and farther away from your own light, and eventually you will be lost. And I had been in that stage for quite a while. And in this pandemic, I literally sat and did some self work. I was into spirituality. I was exploring a lot of stuff, chakras, and things like that. And once again, I was stumbling upon all these things, because all of a sudden motorcycling was not appealing to me anymore. I did not want to read about traveling. I did not want to read anything about motorcycling, because I was sick of it for a while. So I really knew that I had to take a break from it, and that is how my spiritual journey began. I started exploring other ways. I started reading a lot of literature, and eventually this competition thing happened. Your course happened. Yeah, because public speaking is something that I really sucked at. I mean, 2 years ago, if you asked me to come live on Instagram, I would have said no. But the very fact that I'm here is because of your course. Because right now I'm not in a position of judging myself, because there was a time in my life where I used to judge every ahs and ums and every mistake that I used to make in my speech. But right now I'm more focused on getting my message across than my style of presenting it.
Yes.
So that liberates me a great deal. And your course also helped me find and revive my passion for crafting. So that is another powerful way. Yeah, that is another powerful way of expressing myself. So what this has helped me is, it has helped me reach a state of balance, because balance is very, very important. You can't keep doing the right things even if they are good for all your life. There has to be some balance, because life in the end is not just about motorcycles, right? There are a lot of other things other than motorcycles. There are family, there are relationships, there is your career, a lot of other things to focus. So that is what this has taught me, balance.
Wow. I would say that you've had a very powerful pandemic experience.
Absolutely.
Because, the idea of taking this stillness and finding and reconnecting to your inner stillness, fueled by the absolute power of curiosity, will make you a lifelong learner, which we all are, and really help you find that sense of freedom by going within, and not necessarily always about new, adventure externally. And I mean, such powerful realizations. And I encourage you to write all of that down. I'm going to do the same thing. I mean, anybody really in this time, we are writing our story of this time right now. And I think there is power in journaling about it. A wonderful teacher of mine always says, when you write down these experiences, you are anchoring the teaching, and you can actually drink from that energy when you reread it.
Absolutely.
So thank you for that reminder. I mean, it's really some powerful, powerful realizations. And in fact, one of the comments that I read while you were speaking, they mentioned that learning how to maintain your bike, the sort of the work that you do. And there's a wonderful book, I don't know if you've ever read it, called Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance.
Absolutely. Robert Pirsig, right?
Yeah.
It changed my life. It's an amazing book.
Yeah. So there's something interesting about just playing. Like, I've had a calling to work on ceramics. And so there's
Mm-hmm.
something about doing something new, some craft, something that you can kind of physically get your hands on, whether it's swimming in the ocean or riding or learning how to take apart and put together a bicycle, or something that you can get your hands on that is new, something that you can learn, that I think also changes the pathways in our brain, which
Absolutely.
even if you're just learning one thing or learning a new language, something about that, you can use that same energy and start to see your life in a different way and start to free yourself from the habitual patterns that we have or the habitual ways that we think, and you can find freedom.
Yeah,
Freedom.
absolutely. So actually, there is my friend and colleague Carl here. So he's actually pinging me because he's somebody who works on motorcycles.
Oh, cool.
We both are hardcore motorcycle enthusiasts. He doesn't ride much, but he builds them. So maybe a hi from him, hi for him.
Hello.
Yeah.
That's super amazing. I mean, because I think that whether you are riding or whether you are seeing this unbelievable infrastructure and making it, just be smooth and everything connected, it's powerful. It's really
Absolutely.
powerful.
Absolutely, absolutely. And since you mentioned about Zen, there is a very interesting quote that came to my mind. I'm not sure if you have read about Alan Watts' work. Have you heard about Alan Watts?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there is a quote by Alan Watts that says, the only Zen you find on mountaintops, the only Zen you find on mountaintops is the one you bring with you." Because a lot of us go to mountains believing that our answers are in the mountains. Maybe that is where the secret of happiness is, that is where we will find our missing parts, but seldom do we realize that it is all within. There is nothing on those mountains, and the mountains probably know that, and the mountains are probably laughing, here comes another guy in search of answers, but we don't have any answers. The answers are within you.
Yeah. The answers are within you. But I will say, having taken that swim in the ocean at dawn, sometimes by immersing yourself in a new and foreign place helps you really connect to a different energy, to reconnect to an energy that has been inside you all the time, but you didn't create the space to make it, to become aware of it.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
yeah, I definitely think that we are at home, hopefully at home most of the time for most of us, and it is a wild opportunity to get quiet. So whatever that looks like for anyone, whether it's lighting a candle and gently staring at it, or looking at a tree and really noticing the details, or putting your feet on the earth and just feeling the energy, it doesn't take much to
Right.
start to appreciate this special place called planet Earth. And
Absolutely.
remember, hopefully we remember the miracle that you are, the miracle that you are, and the preciousness of this experience in this place.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And
And
how totally delightful, I will say again, that it is wondrous to me that some miracle ad popped up to you in India, and here you are, and suddenly we're connected and friends. It's wild. So you just never
absolutely.
know.
Absolutely. And there is another interesting thing that happened last month. It is when I'm trying to post. This is another blue grotto moment for me. This is when I'm trying to think whether I should send this link across to Alexa Fischer, because I had two voices at that time too. Should I really send it to Alexa Fischer? I don't think. I mean, she's a celebrity, man. She won't read. She won't read it anyway, let alone watch it. And there were like two voices, literally. But then I decided, screw it. I will just send it. And look what that has brought us to.
Yeah.
You would have missed
It's
all
so
of this.
funny. I mean, literally,
Absolutely.
it's the funniest thing. Well,
Absolutely.
I'm no celebrity, but number two, I think this whole idea of saying you just never know. Like today, I have to tell you, today I'm really excited because for me, I had a really pivotal person in my life help spark the encouragement that I needed to make Wish Beats happen. And that is the artist India Ari. And India
Amazing.
Ari was singing her song I Am Light at an event that I attended in 2016, an event that that Oprah Winfrey put on. And I was
Mhm.
way up in the balcony and she sang that song and I got the message so hard, like just like a lightning bolt, like you got like like it was as if the universe was saying to me, listen, we gave you this idea for a reason and now you need to do it, like
Right.
now. And so after her song I was like, oh my god, I have to do it. And it was just the energy of her song and the space that she held while she sang it was just the energy, the spark that I needed to launch my Kickstarter campaign, which then funded 30 days later and set everything in motion. But listen to this beautiful thing. Today is the day that after years of me sending India RE messages and trying to just thank her, all I want to do is thank her. I sent her videos. I sent her messages. I would like ask people, does anyone know India RE? Like my feeling is like you are one person away from anyone you want to meet. And I would say, do you know India RE? And I thought I had a few leads, but nothing panned out. This summer, I was invited to be a guest on a podcast from Lee Harris. He's amazing. If you don't know his work,
Wow, amazing.
Lee, yeah, amazing. And so when the producer called me, I was like, oh my God, this is incredible. So I actually went to the studio, recorded the podcast, but earlier that summer they featured India RE. And so I was like, okay, I prepared a package and a letter and I made another video for her just to thank her, to tell her what her song had an impact on my life. Mind you, this was 4 years ago. I've been trying to do this for 4 years. Just thank this woman. And I said to the producer, if there is any way, I don't need to know her address, but you're in touch with her, here's a package of wish beads and my note and a link to my video. And if there's any way you can get a hold of her to just pass it along for me. And they're like, oh my God, that's amazing. I'm sure she would love it. That's incredible. Okay. That was like a month ago. Do you know, according to tracking, and the producer wrote to me yesterday, India RE is going to receive them today.
Wow, amazing. That makes this day indeed special, huh?
Yeah, today is an auspicious day. Swimming in the ocean, our conversation, India RE getting her thank you gift. I'm telling you, it's a 10 and it's like the beginning of the day already.
Right. So just a shout out to my friends here. So guys, we have the lovely Alexa Fischer here. So if you have any questions about wish beads, wish work, or any of our life courses, now would be a great time to ask questions. She would be happy to answer them for you.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you. This is, and for all of my other wish beads or wish work and whatnot viewers, this has been a long one. So thanks for hanging in there. It's nice to see your beautiful faces.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
I think this idea of like going for it and you just never know. I think these two ideas, like I can't tell you how many times where I thought that swimming in the ocean was going to be uncomfortable or a little bit scary and daunting, like especially as far out as we went. And yes, Jenny, there'll definitely be a replay. I'll post it in the feed. Thank you. It's good to see you. But the idea that once and there's quite a lot of people, by the way, when we went to the beach this morning, as you talked about community, there's a young guy who, is a swim teacher. His girlfriend is, I think there's another, his mom is a huge like swim person. There was probably like 20 of us swimming. So suddenly you didn't feel so scared. You would I got a wetsuit, so it's super buoyant and comfortable. And it was magic. But there's things that you can do to put yourself in a place of support. So it's not like you have to go crazy and jump into the great unknown. You can find your way in. And you can also appreciate that the right time will present itself and that you're going to be ready to say yes.
Absolutely.
And that's okay.
So how do we find that right voice? How do we identify with the right voice? Because we always tend to have these multiple voices, right? One that says, go for it. And the other one that says, stay safe, man. It's not safe. It's deep.
Yeah.
You might drown. So which one do we actually trust?
Well, I think there always has to be a voice where you are having some discrimination, meaning that the voice that is keeping you safe is actually a helpful voice. The voices that you want to be more aware of are the voices that are tearing you down or judging you in a way that's putting you down. When you bring your awareness to that, you can feel it. You know, a lot of times there's a metaphor of like the angel on your shoulder and the devil on your shoulder. And,
Absolutely.
you know, we can feel those voices throughout the day. So if you find yourself tuning into a voice that is like, oh man, you know, kind of nagging at you, putting you down, number one is just to be aware of it. Number two is not to get mad at it. Don't engage with anger, because in a way that is a voice that's coming from a place of pain. And by being angry, you're actually feeding the pain. So instead, you want to become aware of it and say, I choose not to listen to you right now. Or obviously you need a little love. I'm giving you love. Speaking of which, there's something that I teach that is so simple. And I learned it from my friend Lisa Greenberg, who has, you can find her at Truth in Hand. And she shared it with me, and it's called toothbrush love. Many of us don't consciously practice giving selfless love to ourselves, but it's the simplest thing. When you are brushing your teeth, presumably people are brushing their teeth 1 or hopefully 2 times a day. You are maybe staring at yourself in the mirror. Now, we've been trained to look at the mirror and think, oh, I look tired, I look old, I got more, you know, wrinkles on my face or something, you know, some horrible meanness that is happening. No. When
I do that at times.
When you're brushing your teeth, it is the perfect opportunity and new habit to just say, hello, I love you. You're doing great. I hope you have an amazing day today. I'm so proud of you. And all of this little thing that, okay, there's a question that just came in, but this idea of giving us this self-love is a new way of being, and you have to work on it. You have to build that muscle. And the more you build that muscle, you can create some space for yourself so that you can identify those voices within you. So the practices like meditation or learning something, practicing selfless giving, these are all practices that are helping you refine your discrimination about which voice am I listening to. If you find yourself getting sucked into the negativity that is so popular online in our world, just give yourself some space to say, is this feeding me? Is this making me feel better? I'm not saying you can't be informed, but you need to be aware of what is affecting you and not just automatically taking it for the truth, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we had a question about this finding your life calling. And, you know, one of the master classes that I'm working on right now, I'm launching a big master class in January, but one of the pillars of it has to do with your goals and your purpose. And my friend Alexandra Franzen gave me a wonderful perspective on this, that sometimes your life purpose can feel daunting. It feels like, shouldn't I know? Or if I do anything other than my life's purpose, is it good? And she introduced this idea of a purpose project. Now, a purpose project for you, I think it was Himalayan that asked this, was that is there something that either you've done as a child, and in your case, Ajish, you know, your love of sculpting, is there something that you used to do as a child that you liked, that brought you joy? Is there something that maybe you had a volunteer project that you did, or something that you find yourself doing just for fun, that brings you a sense of calm and peace that you like? Maybe that thing, whether it's knitting or gardening or crafting or telling jokes or something that's always sort of delighted you, that has a little bit of that enchantment energy, that is where you want to lean into. And the more you give it your energy, just by doing that, you will start to open up the energy vortex that will bring more of that to you, but also may start to attract new people, new opportunities, and new things. So for example, now you've unlocked this joy of craft, and you've got your joy of motorcycle adventures. Whether that, like, talk to, if you don't mind sharing, how does that intersect and how does that feed your work, your career work? Can you talk about that? Because that might lend some insight as well.
Again, I think I missed the second part of the question.
Oh, when you've tapped into the love that you have, or the reconnection to your love of creativity and craft with
Mm-hmm.
the Ganesha sculpture, paper sculpture that you did recently. And you've also discovered your love of adventure, the open road, and motorcycles. How do those two things, which aren't necessarily like your career, how has that changed your relationship to your career and your work?
Right. So the thing is, it so when you have amazing things, so first thing is I like to keep my work and my passion separate. I mean, it's not always. It's always good to have a passion. It's always good to have your passion as your profession, right? Nothing better than that. If your passion is your profession, then you are the most blessed person in the world. But not all people are lucky to have a career that is something that you're passionate about. But we have to do it. Because we need money. We need money to survive. There are a lot of responsibilities. We have to pay the bills, right?
Yep.
So one thing is, what you can do is, what I feel is, uh, don't be sad, or don't kick yourself if you are not able to find that's something that you're not able to do your passion as your profession. Just uh, just find time. Just try to keep a balance between both. I mean, do your profession for, or I'm not able to phrase it properly. What I mean is, try to find a balance where you're able to do your work for the money it gives you, and then have some time in your life to do your passions. So this way you get to do both
Yeah.
without mixing them both. Because
Yeah.
in my case, the best thing to do would be to try to find the connection between the both. Because I'm a technical writer. Like I said, yeah, I forgot to mention that I'm a technical writer. I write about softwares, technology, and machines. I mean, every time you buy an electronic appliance, a mobile phone, a television, you get a small booklet with it, right? The one that you never read unless something breaks down or doesn't work. So that is what I do. That is what I write, and so I know. And now my passion is to ride motorcycles, but it's very difficult to find a career in motorcycling, right? I mean, there is a lot of people out there. It's very expensive, and
Yeah.
you need lots and lots of resources to get into a career in motorcycling. So what I can do is, instead of, I can either kick myself that I was not able to find a good career in motorcycling, or I can do technical writing, get the money, and do motorcycle and pursue motorcycling in my free time, and that makes me happy enough. That is all I need. Like I said, I don't want to be on a motorcycle all my life.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not practical, right? Because there are a lot
Yeah.
of other things in your life that you can do, not just ride motorcycles. Yeah, of course, I love motorcycles. I'm very passionate about motorcycles, but doesn't mean that I would spend my entire life, day and night, on a
Yeah.
motorcycle.
Yeah.
Because that would, yeah, that would,
Okay. I just,
yeah,
first of all, I love the fact that by day, you are a technical writer, and
yeah,
then your passion is the technical rider. I
uh-huh,
kind of like am in love with that whole thing. I also so appreciate and that your clarification that there is actually freedom in separating the two, in knowing
right,
that you are creating stability with your income. You are creating something that I'm sure that even in the writing, that there is a meditation in that. I mean, that
absolutely,
you can go deep in that world. I also
right,
love the fact that you are infusing those technical words and the things that, with an energy that is going out to people, that when they're receiving their goods, whether they read it or not, your energy imprint is there. So you're
absolutely,
bringing your creativity and your adventures and your whatever, they're real people doing it. I love that. And I
right,
think that that we can all fall into this perception that if I'm not doing my life's purpose, or that the two things aren't together, then I've somehow not I'm failing. But that's not the truth. You're
absolutely.
actually totally winning the game by creating this idea of like, oh, over here I can make money, and I can have goals within that. I can learn
Mhm.
things about myself. I can have challenges and
Absolutely.
learn how to overcome them. But I can also prioritize me so that I don't think that my ideal life is someplace in the future that I can't create right now. You're
Right.
bringing what you desire to your life right now, which is
Right.
great.
Right. And when I know that, and when I know that the money I make from technical writing, when I know that the money I make from technical writing is going to help me follow my passion, so
Yeah.
that indirectly helps me become a good technical writer too. Right?
Yeah.
Because I know all this money is going to help me chase my motorcycling dreams. So eventually I got to be a good technical writer. So that is how I can excel in multiple streams, I would say, rather than just motorcycles. So here I get to be a good technical writer, which I believe I am. I'm totally humble when I say that. And I believe I'm a good rider too, rather than
Amazing.
ending up, yeah, just one. It's like being Superman and then Clark Kent. And Clark Kent in the morning, it's boring. A lot of people don't like Clark Kent, but then to become Superman in the night, you have to be Clark Kent in the morning.
Oh my gosh, what a fantastic, okay, so Banjaratri mentions that he's totally inspiring guy, full of energy and ideas, lightning bolt heart. So I wonder what would it look like for you to write, and maybe you do this already, but write an article about that, being Clark Kent during the day and Superman at night. Like, because maybe the technical writing, which by the way, writing is a beautiful practice in and of itself. There is
Absolutely.
another, Bling by Billy, who happens to be my mom. She says, I so adore this gentleman. Me too,
Thank you so
Mom.
much. Thank you so much.
But this idea that there is also this fantasy, this story that people say that it's all like, oh, they're so lucky. He's so lucky. He's got a motorcycle. He can go on these adventures. And yet the truth is, if it's in my world or your world, it's the practice day in, day out, the work that we do, that there is. Oh, so this idea is this, she talks about Himalayan, this talks about the idealism is the problem. It's it's true. The actual work of doing the work, even though I am, after all these years, I'm 48 years old, I do believe I'm doing the work that I was meant to do. But this is based on 2 decades of the slog, of the practice of showing up day in, day out, navigating, figuring out the challenges, that there is the practice no matter what you're doing. And so if you have this day job, and people ask me, should I start this brand new, people idealize being an entrepreneur. My
All right.
feeling is, I'm like, if you can learn on someone else's dime, do that.
All
Because the
right.
pressure you feel when it's when you're paying people and you're running the show and you have all the ideas and you're building the infrastructure, it's a lot of pressure. So don't idealize
Absolutely.
it. Go learn on someone else's dime, and then slowly spread your wings. Slowly
Absolutely.
decide to expand. So going back to this idea, you're a writer.
Uh-huh.
Maybe, what would it look like to write that article about Clark Kent and Superman? What would that look like? Because I would imagine with your spirit, which you shine, you didn't need a course from me to talk about shining brightly. I think you were all
Oh,
lit up prior to
oh
my
no, I
voice.
did. I absolutely did. I absolutely did. You should have looked at me like 7 months ago. I mean, a year ago from now, I would have been a totally different person. I'd have totally sucked.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, if that's not a good testimonial, I'll take it. But honestly, I'm so proud of you. I think that this pandemic is really a time for us to love ourselves, to look inside ourselves, to spread our wings and fly. Because
Absolutely.
why not? Go for it.
Absolutely. Just go for it. Just dive
Yeah.
in. You will love the way this water feels.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that line.
Yeah. Beautiful. Well, Ajish, I have so enjoyed our conversation. This has been
Same here.
really an epic, epic day. Such
Same here.
beautiful
Same here.
energy from like opposite sides of the planet, which is just wild. And I'm so grateful
Absolutely.
to meet all the new friends that you've brought. I'm grateful for my wish workers to, connect with you, because we have only seen you as the technical writer show up on the morning lives. And
Absolutely.
it's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. And I can't wait to see your journey unfold. I can't wait to read your work and to see your adventures and to stay connected, because I think you're a great teacher, to be honest with you. And actually, now that I'm thinking of it, I am building these master courses, and I would love
Mhm.
to maybe do another recording outside of Instagram Live and you can teach about your experience, because I
Oh,
think
I would
people
love
can
that.
learn from you.
I would absolutely love that. But I would need your
Yeah.
help.
Oh my
I would need
goodness.
your help big time. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would be incredible. You're a natural teacher. Your spirit and energy and curiosity and bravery is really what's teaching people. So you see, when everyone steps into just a little bit of the power that they have, even if it's just smiling to a stranger, it creates this ripple effect that you have no
Absolutely.
idea.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah,
So,
so good.
you want to take any questions now, or are we running out
Sure.
of
I mean, if
time?
anybody has any questions, yeah, I can spend a little more time.
Hey guys, if you have any questions, now is the best time to ask. You have Alexa Fischer
So fun.
in
Thank you,
front of you.
Caroline. I'm so glad you enjoyed it today. It's a long one. This has been
Absolutely, yeah.
a really
How long
good
has it
day.
been?
Well, normally when I do my lives, they're like a half an hour. Now we're like over an hour, which is, hey,
Okay. But
it's
time just flew,
cool.
huh?
Yeah, it's cool. It's late for you, but I'm
Yeah, it's
so,
fine.
so glad.
Same
And
here, same here.
Himalayanness, I'm so happy that you asked that question, because I think that it's really a concept that many people have, where you can sit back and you can say, lucky for them. Oh, here's a question for you. What is your favorite quote, Ajish? What is your
No,
favorite quote?
maybe we should ask Alexa to give us a quote. It was a nice, memorable quote. Something like a pitch
Oh,
line that is gonna make us want to know more about wish beads.
you know, the one that
It
comes
was
to
a
mind
powerful
is
quote.
just, yeah, I mean, look, the one that came to mind right away, so I'll just honor that, is something that I shared a few weeks ago, or maybe a month ago. I don't even remember. But wish beads are not magic. You are magic. You are
Wonderful,
magic.
wonderful. I
And
love
if
that
they,
quote.
yeah, and if you can just taste how magical you are to create what you want in the world, you will be changed forever. And a taste is all you need. And then you don't go back. And then you take that taste, and it creates a hunger to want just a little bit more and a little bit more. And you don't want just for yourself, you want for the world. And that action that you take is part of selfless giving, because you do it for
Absolutely.
yourself, but not only for yourself. So you are not just riding and experiencing the world for yourself or creating paper crafts, is that there's a teaching in that. And and then Whiskey Sour is really feeling like you should start working on his bike. He's very persistent with this.
He keeps taunting me all the time. Actually, I'm wearing his T-shirt. He gifted me this one last year. It's a Harley T-shirt. He's a big fan of Harley.
Cool.
And both Banjara Yatri and Himalayanist, they are like very good friends of mine. And maybe I think, Alexa, you should say that quote. I mean, our greatest strength, our greatest fear is not. Do you remember that one?
Oh, the Marianne Williamson one.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
A return to love.
Yeah. Okay. Sometimes I mess it up, but I think I'm gonna link my hemispheres in my brain so I can remember. Marianne Williamson wrote a very powerful book called A Return to Love. And she also is the author of A Course in Miracles. So that's amazing as well. Our greatest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our greatest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be gorgeous, talented, brilliant, and fabulous? Who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small doesn't serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people don't. Wait, there's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people don't. I want to say,
Insecure around you.
yeah, be
Insecure
insecure around her. We were born to make manifest. We were born to make manifest the, hold on, it's coming, like the brilliance within us. And it's not just in some of us, it is in all of us. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other permission for people to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others.
Amazing, amazing. I'm getting goosebumps.
And
I
that
get goosebumps.
truth, when I read that so many years ago, that's actually one of the reasons why I called it your 1,000-watt presence, your inner light, is that we're so afraid. And yet by breaking the illusion that we are afraid of the dark, we're actually afraid of how powerful we are, of how amazing that life can be.
Absolutely.
And when I was swimming today in the ocean at dawn with the sliver of the crescent moon, tomorrow is the new moon, and seeing Venus and seeing Mars and seeing the sky and the water blend, and to see the pink glistening of the sun coming up on the water, and it was just mind-boggling. And so the fear
Absolutely.
of being uncomfortable has kept me on the shore. But when I had at least the support of others to say, come and taste this magnificent, come. What you and I are doing right now in our own tiny little way from opposite sides of the planet is just saying, come, taste the magic, rediscover what a precious gift this planet is, and what an amazing miracle of a creation that you are. And just
Absolutely.
wake up and see and taste it. And once you taste it, just a teeny little crumb, you will want more, and you will build the bravery, and you will go on your own journey, and you can't judge it. You just have to do it. You just have to start.
True that. Can't agree more.
Yeah. Oh,
Wonderful.
my goodness. What
Wonderful.
fun.
So guys, if you haven't followed Alexa Fischer here, follow her beautiful work. Check out her amazing courses on Udemy, YouTube. She also has free courses on her website, alexafisher.com. They are amazing. They are life changing. They changed my life, and I'm sure they will change yours too. And tune into her daily live sessions at Wish Beads Official.
Oh.
Just the daily dose of positivity you might need.
Oh my goodness. You are such a rock star. Thank you so much, Ajish. I have loved your adventures. I cannot wait to see what you are going to create and how your path is going to unfold. I think you're an amazing individual and teacher. Maybe we'll do this again, because I'm so curious about asking about your parents, how they've responded to your new sense of adventure. Because I think as a parent myself, my children are 12 and 14, and it's really been beautiful. In fact, just recently, as a parent, because you don't have kids. Do you have kids?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. So it's amazing as a parent that you have this idea. Thank you, Winnie. But that, you want to keep them safe, right?
I guess we have a participant of your course, Sukhvinder Official.
Yes.
Yeah. So you have another student here.
Yes. Hello. I'm so happy you're here. But it's interesting because my 12-year-old, so my 14-year-old has really discovered biking. Like he has like found his individuality and his freedom biking. And my 12-year-old is like, well, if he's doing it, I want to do it. And at first I was like, I don't know. We live in kind of an urban area, and I don't know. Maybe I'll go with you. I started to feel a little nervous about it. And slowly, he would do a little bit thing. They'd meet up with his friends, and we would tell them sort of what the ground rules are. And it was like maybe a week ago, he just pulled me aside and he said to me, "Thank you for giving me my freedom."
Amazing.
And I was
that is the best thing. Yeah, that is one of the best things a parent can gift their children.
Yeah.
More than money, more than anything, freedom. Give them their freedom, and we will love you for that.
Yeah, freedom and boundaries, but with some guidelines, but still,
okay.
And so it's been pretty interesting time this year. Whew.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so we're wishing everybody so much love and health, abundance. Oh, and by the way, I want to mention this. So every month I do virtual wish circles. You and I have to do one together. Let's do that.
My pleasure.
So let's do this. So two things. The first one is my dear friend, Dr. Marcy Cole, and I are going to be co-hosting a wish circle. Oh gosh, I don't know what the time change is going to be for you, but here in California, it's going to be Oh golly, I think it is Sunday, October 25th at 4
Mhm.
p.m. Pacific time. So if you go on my link tree in the bio on Instagram, you are going to, the author winning is Marianne Williamson from her book, A Return to Love.
Absolutely. It's a beautiful
Anyway,
quote.
but the next virtual wish circle, that's actually where I guide you through seeing your wish. So Marcy is going to kick
Amazing.
off with a meditation. Then I'm going to guide you through your wish. It's, if I do say so, a very powerful experience. And we wish together virtually. It's free.
Wonderful.
You can sign up on the link tree. I think I put it right at the top, October Wish Circle. But then, Ajish, would you consider being my guest for November?
Absolutely. That would be my pleasure.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Let's do it. So we are going to do, you'll be my special guest. We'll find a date at the end of November. Typically I do them once a month, and we will do it. We'll find a time that works for your audience in India and my audience here in the States, but
We would
whatever,
love
we'll
it.
work it out.
We would love it.
Oh my God, it'd be so much fun. So we'll do that in November. But for anybody, I mean, you can wish as many times as you want. This is not like a magic genie who's only going to give you 3 wishes. No.
Yeah.
So you can come and wish with us, wish with me and Dr. Marcy Cole on October 25th. In India, it might be the 26th. But yeah, that will be amazing. And I'm just so honored that we got to do this today. This was an epic wish work and whatnot.
Absolutely. Same here. And guys, don't forget to go get some wish beads. These are not wish beads, but I'm going to get them soon.
Yes. And we'll have to figure out how to get them to India, because I have to tell you, I got an email from a young girl who was so incredible. And she shared this story with me that, like, she was in a bookstore in India and she came across my book and it changed her life. And I'm like, how is my book in India? I have no idea how on earth my book was in a bookstore in India. And this girl is like, it has changed my world. You're amazing.
Oh, wonderful. Amazing. You never know.
So Ajish, if you figure out how we can get wish beads to India, you let me know, or anybody else watching.
Absolutely. On it. I'm on it.
Awesome.
Let's do this.
All right, let's do it. Thank you, everybody, for watching.
Thank you
for being here, Ajish. I think you're absolutely amazing. I'm so honored to be your friend.
So are you.
And everybody, just have a beautiful, beautiful day.
Yeah. Thank you for having me on the show. And it has been a huge, huge honor meeting with you, having this amazing live session with you and your amazing wish warriors. Let's do this again
Wish
someday.
warriors.
Have a great day. Have a great day.
Thank you, and have a beautiful
Thank you,
evening.
everyone.
Sweet dreams to you in India.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye. Oh my goodness. I cannot believe this. Ajish, you are incredible. Just amazing. So thank you, everybody, for watching what was like literally a hugely epically long wish work and whatnot, but so worth it. And I am just honored to have you all here. Welcome to all my new viewers, and thank you for tuning in. And if you are watching this later, enjoy. All right, I'll see you here tomorrow at 8:30 in the morning Pacific. Onward ho. Big love. Ciao.